Welcome to Star Watch Now, your front row seat to all the hottest gossip, drama, and breaking news from the world of entertainment. If it's trending, shocking, or star-studded, we're covering it. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next. It didn't start with a headline. It didn't start with a press release or a flashy post on social media. It started with a whisper, a blurry photo, a tired smile, a scarf that looked familiar. And just like that, the fandom stirred. Murmurs turned into questions, questions into theories, and theories into a wave of emotion that swept across Weibo, Douyin, Twitter, and YouTube. Because this wasn't just about any two celebrities. This was about Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan, the iconic pairing from the Untamed, whose chemistry had once lit up screens and now, perhaps, revealed something even more real behind them. The story didn't scream. It didn't beg for attention. Instead, it unfolded in silence. A silence so loud it made millions stop and feel. Why did Wang Yibo suddenly break his usual stoicism? Why was Xiao Zhan seen wearing something that might not be his? Why did a car, barely visible in the shadows, spark thousands of forum threads? It wasn't drama in the traditional sense. It was something deeper, gentler, but infinitely more powerful. This is a story about presence over publicity, about actions louder than confessions, about a quiet kind of love. So if you think you know what connection means in the entertainment world, wait until you hear what Wang Yibo did when no one else was watching. Stay with us because what you're about to discover might just change the way you think about love, loyalty, and the people behind the fame. It began innocently enough, an appearance at a private event. Nothing grand, no red carpet, no media circus, but fans noticed something. Xiao Zhan, usually a vision of calm energy and radiant smiles, looked different. His steps were slower. His usually bright complexion seemed pale. He occasionally coughed and discreetly wiped his nose. At first, most thought it was fatigue, another long day in the chaotic life of a star. But this wasn't just exhaustion. It was something more. As fan-recorded videos made their way online, concern quickly spread. Clips showed Xiao Zhan speaking less, standing quietly, sometimes sitting when he would normally stay standing to greet fans. His manager, tight-lipped as ever, refused to comment. There were no official updates, no hospital photos, no press release, just silence. But silence speaks volumes when it comes to someone like Xiao Zhan. Fans who had followed his journey since the Untamed knew the rhythms of his presence. His pace, his posture, even the weight of his gaze. And this Xiao Zhan felt heavier, quieter, dimmer. Behind the curtain of stardom, a moment of raw humanity emerged. Here was a man, loved by millions, battling something as simple, yet as real as illness. And in that vulnerability, he became more than a celebrity. He became a person, fragile, mortal, in need. And then, just when concern began to turn into quiet fear, Wang Yibo shifted. What he did next would ripple across the internet like a heartbeat amplified. Because sometimes, care doesn't come in loud declarations. It comes in hushed gestures behind closed doors. And that's when the story truly began. Wang Yibo has always been an enigma. He's the type who speaks more with a glance than a sentence, who disappears into a crowd even when the cameras are looking for him. The public knows him as cool, composed, unshakably calm. But those who followed him closely, really closely, know he's something more. He notices everything. So when Xiao Zhan began to falter, it wasn't a public statement Yibo made. It wasn't a post, a tweet, or a carefully crafted PR move. It was a flicker in his gaze, a shift in his rhythm. At a photo shoot days after Xiao Zhan's appearance, Wang Yibo arrived earlier than usual. He kept to himself as always, but one moment caught fans' attention. In a leaked behind-the-scenes clip, Yibo was seen glancing toward a room just off camera. He asked something softly to a staff member. His expression, usually unreadable, now tinged with quiet concern. It was nothing dramatic, nothing theatrical, but those few seconds spoke volumes to the fans who have learned to read him like a quiet poem. And then came the photo. A single frame posted by someone on set. A bowl of warm congee. A cup of honey lemon tea. A figure half in shadow, placing it gently on a table. The caption: "Someone brought this for the one who's unwell. So sweet." Fans zoomed in, enhanced, compared silhouettes, and the internet exhaled in unison. Wang Yibo. He didn't need to say a word. He never does, because Yibo's care doesn't need a spotlight. It finds its power in silence, and it always arrives when it's needed most. It wasn't just congee. It was a bowl of comfort, of quiet care, hand-delivered not by a manager, not by a staff assistant, but by a man who rarely breaks his professional shell. Wang Yibo didn't just send it, he brought it himself. In a world where gestures are often staged and kindness is filtered through PR teams, this was something real. Something almost old-fashioned. No announcement, no credit, no post to say, "Look what I did." Just a warm bowl placed gently beside a resting soul. And if that wasn't enough, fans noticed another detail. The thermos he carried? It had a tiny sticker on it. A cartoon character. To most, it meant nothing. But true fans remembered. Xiao Zhan had once mentioned in a throwaway interview that this was his favorite character growing up. Something he loved so much he kept a plushie of it on his bedroom shelf even after fame. Coincidence? Maybe once. But this was intentional. The fandom didn't scream this time, they whispered, overwhelmed. Because in that moment, they weren't just watching two co-stars. They were witnessing the rarest form of intimacy in showbiz. Unspoken devotion. Yibo didn't need to be loud to be heard. He didn't need to show love with grand speeches or rehearsed affection. He just showed up with warmth when it mattered most. And in doing so, he reminded millions of a simple truth. Sometimes, love is a bowl of congee. Sometimes, love is silent. But it's always felt. Sometimes it's not about being seen. It's about who notices, where, and when. Just one day after Xiao Zhan canceled multiple scheduled appearances, citing exhaustion, a flurry of activity began online. Not from tabloids, but from fans. They'd spotted a car. Not just any car, but one with a very specific license plate. To the casual eye, it was meaningless. But to those who've been following Wang Yibo for years, the vehicle was unmistakable. His signature matte black SUV, often seen in paparazzi shots outside filming locations and racetracks. It had been photographed, just briefly, near a gated residential area. And that area? Xiao Zhan's known neighborhood. Was it coincidence? A fan theory? An illusion of hope from a desperate fandom? First, maybe. But then came the comparisons. Archived paparazzi photos. Angles. Reflections in windows. Even the unique tire rims matched perfectly. Fans, in their meticulous devotion, confirmed it with chilling precision. 90% match. He had been there. No media.
No lights. No entourage.
Just one man showing up quietly in the dead of night. And that's when it became more than a rumor. That's when the love story left the screen and entered real life. Because when someone drives across a city, not for headlines but for healing, when someone chooses to be present when no one's watching, that's not convenience. That's commitment. And in the hum of a car engine beneath the night sky, millions of fans could hear it loud and clear. He came for him. In a world obsessed with the now, we often forget the weight that old words can carry. Months, maybe even years, before Xiao Zhan ever fell ill, Wang Yibo sat in a brightly lit variety show studio, answering the kind of rapid-fire questions most celebrities brush off with canned replies. But one question made him pause. What do you usually do when someone you care about is sick? There was a flicker, barely noticeable, before he answered. His voice was soft, almost too soft for the mic. I can't really relax, he said. I just try to make sure they rest well. And if I can, I cook something warm. At the time, the audience smiled, clapped politely. Another charming, scripted moment from a rising star. But now it feels like a quiet promise fulfilled. Because that's exactly what happened. No press release, no public statement, just warm congee and honey lemon tea, delivered without fanfare. A silent vigil held outside Xiao Zhan's apartment. The same Wang Yibo who once said those words without knowing they'd someday mean so much, didn't just say them. He lived them, and that's what makes this moment extraordinary. Not the drama, not the rumors, but the truth that emerged when no one expected it. Turns out, real love stories aren't written with fireworks. They're whispered in past interviews and proven in quiet nights. And for those watching closely, Wang Yibo never changed. He just meant every word. Days later, Xiao Zhan finally reappeared at a public charity event. Still a bit pale but smiling warmly. However, one small detail caught everyone's attention. A gray knitted scarf, identical to one Wang Yibo wore months ago in a candid airport photo. Gift? Borrowed? Shared? Fans went wild with comparisons and theories. One tweet went viral. That scarf doesn't just keep him warm, it holds memories. An entertainment journalist, known for rarely commenting on rumors, posted a cryptic message. Xiao Zhan recovered quickly thanks to the support of someone who has been by his side for years. He didn't name names, but who else could it be? Fans filled the gaps with one name, Wang Yibo. In a later interview, Xiao Zhan was asked, "What are you most grateful for this past week?" He smiled gently, looked down for a moment, and answered, "I'm grateful to someone who took care of me quietly. Even when I didn't realize I needed help." People like that are rare. The internet erupted. The hashtag it must be Ba trended on Weibo for hours. Whether you call it friendship, brotherhood, or something deeper, this story revealed something rare in the entertainment world. A bond that doesn't need announcements. A connection that speaks through silence. A love that shows up, not for the world to see, but for one person who needs it. Wang Yibo didn't need a spotlight to prove his loyalty. He just needed a scarf, a warm meal, and a quiet late-night visit. In a world where everything is filmed, filtered, and posted for likes, this quiet act of care felt louder than a press conference. This wasn't staged. It wasn't PR. It was real, human, soft, and unforgettable. Sometimes love isn't a bouquet of roses. Sometimes it's lemon tea.
A familiar scarf.
A knock on the door at 11 p.m. when no one else shows up. And that's what makes this story not just beautiful, but timeless. Do you believe Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan share a special bond beyond friendship? Have you ever experienced love in silence? Like this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one. If this story warmed your heart, please give it a thumbs up, share it with a fellow fan, and most importantly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss another emotional journey through the world of Chinese entertainment. Thank you for being here. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and remember, real love doesn't shout. It simply shows up.